Welcome back to yet another episode of FAFO for Trump voters. This is Jensy Machado. He's a U.S. citizen, also a Trump voter, and yes, he is Hispanic. In a totally unpredictable series of events, he was traveling with his two buddies to go to work one day. He works in construction. He was pulled over by ICE, and this is what happened.
This is what Jensy Machado managed to record on his phone Wednesday. He says while he was driving to work with two other men, he was stopped by ICE agents on Lamont Drive in Manassas, a short distance from his home. He says he was confused by what was happening, why agents surrounded the pickup truck.
And they just got out of the car with the guns in the hands and say, turn off the car, give me the keys, open the window. And, everything was really fast.
Machado says the agents said the name of a man they were seeking for a deportation order, someone who had given Machado's home address. He said that was not his name, and he did not know anyone by that name. He offered to show them this, his Real ID compliant Virginia driver's license. It has a star in the upper right corner and requires proof of lawful status.
They didn't ask me for any ID. I was telling the officer if I can give him the ID, but he said that just keep my hands up, not moving. And then...
Wait, did you catch that? They were looking for someone else. Don't you think if you were the cops, you would want to see the ID of that person to verify that you found the person that you were looking for? But they didn't want it. Why? Because it's an excuse, as Machado soon learned.
The officer, if I can give him the ID, but he said that just keep my hands up, not moving. After that, he told me to get out of the car, and then he put the handcuffs on me. And then he went to me and said, how did I get into this country? And if I was waiting for court or if I have any case. And he looked at his other partner like, smiling, like saying, can you believe this guy? At this point, I was with handcuffs sitting on the sidewalk. And then he took my ID and saw that it was a real ID. The other guy said, take the handcuffs off, take the handcuffs off. I was Trump supporter. I voted for Trump last elections, but because I thought it was going to be the things, be pointless, like just go against criminals, not every illegal Hispanic looking like that they will assume we are illegals. That's what they're doing now. They're just following Hispanic people looking like, because they didn't ask me for anything.
Oh my God, it's almost as if the racial profiling is the point. Hence, they use the cover to pull you over by looking for someone else. Maybe this is one of those other administrative errors, like in the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. This guy is now in the find out stage. Imagine being told by people whose salary that pay you that you look illegal. The fact that he believed he would be exempt. This is what you voted for, amigo. I never thought the leopards would eat my face. Don't tell me racial profiling doesn't exist. They think that they are better than others until they are reminded of who they are. Voting against your own interests is never a good idea. And this one is really important. He voted for Trump. One thing Trump isn't, and will never be, is subtle. He's having a second thought about voting for Trump. To be honest, you deserve him. I also want to point out that this video was posted also in Spanish, so I want to read some of those comments as well. And I translated them. One just says, excellent, it's a good thing what happened to him because, as we Colombians say, when your neighbor's beard is burning, soak yours. He is one of many who betrayed his race, but the pleasure I have is that even though he is a citizen, it does not mean that they are welcomed by the gringos. Gringos just means white people. Enjoy what you voted for. Good, he got what he deserved. And of course, this isn't the only Trump voter who is in the find out stage of FAFO. I recently posted a video about this guy, Bachir Atala, who was traveling from Canada, just a weekend trip, going back to his home in New Hampshire, when he was profiled and stopped by Border Patrol in Vermont. So go and check out that video. And yeah, he is a U.S. citizen of 10 years. But does he look white enough? No. The racial profiling is the point. Or here's another example. Now, this isn't a Trump voter, but U.S.-born man held under ICE for hours in Florida for a traffic stop that he was just a passenger, a part of, and he was held for hours despite being a U.S. citizen. Juan Carlos Lopez Gomez, who is a 20-year-old U.S. citizen, was charged with illegally entering Florida as an unauthorized alien, even as a supporter waved around his birth certificate in court. Thankfully, he is free now, but this is all such insanity. Essentially, what the Trump administration is trying to do is they're trying to use accusations as evidence for deportation. The accusations, which are completely made up. The accusations of, if you are Hispanic looking or speak Spanish, you must be a criminal, you must be a migrant, you must be undocumented. Evidence is the thing that just gets in the way of their agenda. They don't care about citizenship status. They don't care about that evidence. They don't care about due process. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the Supreme Court trying to weigh in here saying, you gotta stop deportations until we can do due process. And just as a quick little tidbit, just know that due process isn't just for citizens. It's for everyone in the country, including legal non-residents and undocumented people. Because it clearly states that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, property without the due process of law. That darn woke Constitution getting in the way. Or the 14th Amendment, basically saying the same thing. So for people like Jensy Machado, dude, you're getting what you voted for. Another aspect of this that shows that racial profiling is the point is the fact that the officers didn't believe him and they just laughed in his face, even though he was like, I'll show you my ID. They're saying, can you believe this guy? The police could just look at the ID first before going the route of putting on the handcuffs and doing the brutality. But see, they're not going to do that because they assume that every Hispanic person that looks and sounds Hispanic must be an undocumented, illegal criminal. The racial profiling is the point, dude. Now, what gags me is that watch him go and vote for Trump again. That is, if we have another election and somehow he is on the ballot.